Well, like in biplane, some great stories, of course, in the Formula One group here. One of them is Andy Mack from Tehachapi, California. He already won one of his qualifying races, one of our F1 silver races during the course of this week. His story is a good one. He's kind of new out here, but doing very, very well.
Reno 2023 was pretty special because it was the last day races.
The throttles are coming up, we're underway.
For someone like me who's wanted to get into this for a long time, you know, when I learned that was the last race in Reno, that was a punch in the gut, you know. When I walked through the pits and I saw the for sale sign on this airplane, it was like, hey, life's short. This is a dream that I've had for a long time. Like, we need to make this happen. My crew chief, my fiance, Leah, she was instrumental in encouraging me to do this. She said, if you don't buy that airplane, you're gonna regret it for the rest of your life. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go turn around and talk to Justin. It's a pretty exciting day. Been waiting for this for a long time. Been a fan of air racing for a number of years, and been working on this Casset for about 2 years now. A lot of build up to get here. Was just excited to get here.
I flew from Tehachapi, California over the course of a couple days. It's kind of challenging with the winds. Most of the guys in the class trailer here and put it together. In my case, we thought it was going to be logistically easier. Reevaluating that decision now.
We say that we're the true purebred racer class, because like the other racer classes, those airplanes, they can be used as sport planes and other activities, and our planes, they're just built to be on a race course. They hold very little fuel, so that's why the majority of the airplanes, I think only one flew in.
I'm a rookie. The first flight was actually going to be a familiarization flight with an experienced race pilot in the RV over there. And if there's time during our flight window tomorrow, I'll hop out of that. I'll get to jump in here and then get my first flight on the course.
This is a pylon race school, so any pilots that are new to racing have to take the class, and now with the new location in Roswell, existing pilots have to recertify or certify this new course.
It's always something I said I wanted to do. The challenge of it, both the technical and the piloting skills, appealed to me.
It's going to be a little bit more about, all right, how do we get competitive? So making some mods to the plane, tweaking some stuff aerodynamically.
This has been pretty grueling. I mean, it's a pretty brief race, but it's a lot. It's mentally challenging and physically challenging. You know, you're getting knocked around pretty good out there on the race course, especially once it heats up and you're flying through turbulence, you're hitting wakes, stuff like that.
I'm just excited to get out here, get a couple more reps out on the course this week. This has been an amazing experience already, and I think this is just a taste of what Roswell has to offer for September. So, super excited to be back. We'll see you all here in September.
Andy Mack, what a great story. What a great day he is having here, and what a great meet he has had here already. Won one with qualifying races in the silver class, the B class it was at the time, but earlier in this week. Looking to start this one in the second qualifying position. It'd be behind Carl Robinson, but Cheap Thrills. Andy's playing there and flew it out here himself, and that in itself has got to be an experience. I mean, you feel when you cross the Sierras or the Rockies in a 767, you can feel it. Imagine how it feels like in one of those planes.
Well, and we're going to talk about the amount of gas that these airplanes have, or maybe we should say don't have.
Yeah.
You know, so it took him several days to get here, plus a bunch of fuel stops, let alone the winds he talked about. Quite a challenge, but kudos to him. Like we said earlier, I love the story behind the story with the aviation. You see him getting the final pre-race hug and best wishes from the crew and the crew chief there, and ready to go.
Actually, we caught up with Andy just a few minutes ago before he took on that. You started strapping his plane on, as we say, in this F1 category.
Yes, we've definitely had some challenges with the weather, but we've been remaining flexible, and we're here waiting to tow out for the Formula One Silver Final on Sunday. So we've got an awesome race shaping up right now for the Formula One Silver Heat. We've got Carl, number 57 in heat stroke, He's going to be on the front line with me. I'm a little quicker off the line than Carl, but he's a little faster once he gets all wound up. So there's going to be some good passing watching Carl trying to get past me. And then we're super excited that we got Trent Woodworth and number 52, Feisty, back in the game. So he had some engine issues earlier in the week. He made 8 out a couple days ago. Was able to get the airplane safely on the ground, and his crew's been working around the clock to swap in a new engine that was very nicely donated by Eric Dienst from number 85, Deja Vu. So that just goes to show the type of sportsmanship that's involved here in Formula One. We all want to see each other competing at our best, and it's going to be an awesome race between the three of us. Also in this race, we've got number 10, Mark McIntyre, Rookie of the Year. He's an awesome competitor. It's always a pleasure flying with him. And we've got 72, Dominic Cacolici, and he's going to be starting the middle position today.
Andy Mack sizing up the competition there, and that's something that we should point out about all these pilots. They don't want to beat these guys when they're not having everything. They want to beat them at their best.
Right, absolutely fair and square. And we heard Andy Mack kind of walk through the field, and we'll show you where those are here in just a minute. But you might think about, well, why is he in the second position when he won yesterday in this silver pairing? But it really has to do with all week long in the various times these racers have put down their best time. And like he said, Carl Robinson, with the new engine donated by Eric Dienst, he had the 227 miles an hour earlier in the week in Heat 1, actually, and that put him on the pole here today in the silver pairing in race 57.
And there's the rest of our field there. You see Carl and Andy, Heat Stroke and Cheap Thrills. Race 57 and 82. Race 52 is Trent Woodworth and Feisty. Feisty is a yellow, playing yellow in color. You'll see it when we get going up here. Also yellow as lap traffic at race 72, Dominic Cacolici, excuse me. I'll get it right before this week is over one of these times. There, race 72, and Mark McIntyre in the red plane, Tantrum, race 10.
And Tommy, as we got the field there on the screen, you can also see him behind, actually sitting on the runway. Again, we're on runway 35 here at the Roswell International Air Center. We will depart north. And you can see in this case, we have 2 aircraft in the front row, 1 in the middle and 2 in the back, and we'll come back and look at them a little closer in a minute. But again, we're on that same 3.19 mile course, our most up close and personal race course here at Roswell International Air Center and the National Championship Air Races. Start-finish line is also our home pylon. We have 6 pylons on this race course, 1, 2, and 3 up north, 4, 5, and 6 down south. We fly them counterclockwise. Turning left, fly low, fly fast, turn left is how we do it. A little over 3.19 miles. We're going to do 8 laps and just over 25 miles in this race, Tommy.
Well, these are very historic planes, the longest standing class in the national championships here. Formula One silver is almost getting ready to go. We got a few more preparations for these teams to make. They'll get the prop spinning in a while. And before you know it, they'll be up in the air.
One thing to look for, you see Andy Mack already has his engine running, and we may be able to see some other ones here. These aircraft, a true technical formula, they do not have starters. And so you will see a crew member reach up and hand prop the aircraft and actually spin it over. Much like I start my model aircraft, spinning those. These are obviously bigger, but the aircraft, these are our descendants of the original air racers in our country, Tommy, dating back to the 1930s. Obviously one of the oldest classes. It's the only continuous racing class in the United States. First known as midget racers back in the 30s. The class was developed through the 40s and officially introduced at the Cleveland Air Races in 1947 as the Formula One. It's an international formula, the same all over the world. Same basic rules have existed through the entire time. And it requires the aircraft to be a monoplane, meaning one wing, so you see that here. They all have fixed gear, which means they don't retract. They have the fixed pitch prop that we talked about earlier in the biplane class, and in this class, they all fly the Continental 0200 4-cylinder engine, which you would find in your Cessna 150, for example. Stock in a Cessna, it's going to produce about 100 horsepower. Here in our race configurations, they're going to produce about 160 or more horsepower. We're going to turn smaller props at about 54 inches, upwards of 4,500 RPM. The fastest aircraft in the class are going to push 250 miles an hour. See a great shot of our grandstands here in Roswell in Section 3. For those of you of our September family are familiar with that, from Reno, it exists here in Roswell, and you can see all the orange shirts over there on the left of your screen in Section 3. All of our fans here, and they're still milling about in all the static displays and all of that. Another couple things to think about as we go through the rules here for the Formula One class. The minimum weight of the aircraft is 500 pounds, similar to biplane. But in Formula One, the pilot and their gear have to weigh at least 150 pounds. So if you're a small, skinny person and get all your gear on, and even if it's wet, you're not quite 150 pounds. You got to put some weight in there to get to that minimum.
Much like they do in horse racing.
That's all about making it even, and that technical formula that makes everything equal. You'll see the different types of aircraft we have. In this case, we've got all Cassett racers in this silver racing, and they have the straight wing that Tommy sometimes called the candy bar wing because it's kind of straight front and back as we go back and forth. But in the class overall, we have a total of 10 aircraft. There's 7 Cassets racing here this year, 2 shoestrings and 1 DG2 frayed knot, and we'll see that later. But you can see our crews are now exiting the field. Now, unlike the biplane, when we get the start, you see our starter there. They won't use a flag, they'll use their hand. When they go, all 5 competitors will take off at the same time. There's no subsequent 4-second delay as they go. So, but we will also, similar to the biplane class, we'll do a starter lap or an oil warm-up lap. But there's Andy Mack in race 82, up close, and very good look at his beautiful plane that we heard about in the pre-race interview, Tommy.
Very proud of it, saw it on sale, and man, that's what got him into the game here, and it was a great, great story. Andy Mack and his crew chief is his fiance as well, so best wishes to that team. They've already, I think they've had a great time out here already. Got one win to show for it so far.
And just a reminder, as we set the field here, folks, Andy Mack there in the front row. On our left side, to his right is the pole position, Carl Robinson in race 57. So 2 in the front row, 1 in the middle. That's our third place, Trent Woodworth in Feisty, the yellow airplane, a little bit more school bus yellow kind of color. And then in the back row, Dominic Kakalici in the yellow and black lap traffic. And in the far left of your screen, Mark McIntyre in Tantrum, the red Cassett, race 10.
Should be around 2.5 minutes away from the actual start time, so we are getting very close to it. We will have our silver medal in Formula One. Competition underway. There's Feisty right there. That is the more of the darker yellow one. Let's call it a kind of a mustard color as compared to Dominic Kakalici's brighter yellow.
And there there is Dominic on the right side of the screen now there in our back row, and Mark McIntyre on screen. He's to the left in our 5th position. And there's a good shot kind of in relation how they are there with the little bit of zoom in. You see the official hold up their finger, one finger. That tells our competitors we're a minute away. The official's counterpart in the front row will be having their hand up in the air as well. And when that hand comes down, we'll be ready to go. So as these last few seconds wind down, our competitors are making sure the seat belts are cinched down tight. The engine's running and happy up there. Everything's ready to go. The adrenaline definitely is coming up in the cockpit, Tommy, as we get ready to go. We will be airborne and taking off momentarily. Again, we do have fixed pitch props in this class. So again, it's that choice of, do I get off the ground faster or do I have a higher top speed? And we heard Andy Mack describe that beautifully in that pre-race interview. There's another shot farther down the course where we have the flags. We've got the green flag up now in addition to our starters, and we're going to watch for that flag to drop, and we're going to be off and running on our oil warm-up, our starter lap. Here we go, Tommy. Off and racing here in the silver race. Formula One, the 60th edition of the National Championship Air Races.
Race 57, yellow with the orange tail there. That is Carl Robinson, our top qualifier here. Andy Mack right alongside of him to the right, the outside position in the first row.
And look at Trent Woodworth and Feisty. He got airborne really quick. His prop selection had him accelerating really fast. He had to slide to his right because he, along with Andy Mack, are faster on that initial takeoff. Now, we heard Andy say that Carl's prop selection will make him a little faster at speed. We'll see that. But look right there. We've already got contesting pass for the lead right here. Andy Mack is in the lead on the left. Trent Woodworth and Feisty coming around his outside as they begin the first portion of the pylons on the north end of our course. And they're going to come around right here. And we are still on our oil warm-up or our starter lap. But as you can see, our competitors can compete for position. They can pass.
Yeah.
They can do wherever. We just start counting laps when the first aircraft comes by the home pylon for the first time. All 5 competitors airborne successfully and on the course. You can see, again, our split shot here on the bottom. Battle for the lead right here, ladies and gentlemen.
That's
Andy
racing
Mack,
right there.
his rear view mirror is absolutely full of Trent Woodworth, race 52, and Feisty. Here in this angle as they come around pylon 6 and roll into the home stretch for the first time, you can see that they are right on top of each other, and Trent is doing everything he can to catch up to Andy. And we'll see if Andy's prediction holds true. If Carl Robinson does have something that's a little faster, that'll play out as we roll around our 8 laps. We are now in lap number 1 of all 8 laps, a little over 25 miles here in Formula One, Roswell, New Mexico.
Andy Mack from Tehachapi up in the mountains. High desert of California.
There's Carl Robinson.
Carl Robinson from the piney woods of East Texas, Longview, Texas.
Longview, Texas. Absolutely. He is now headed around pylon 4. And we got to see a little bit of action there as Feisty looks like he got into a little bit of wake turbulence, had to roll to the right, pull up a little bit. And that cost him a little bit of time as he's trying to catch Andy Mack. So Andy Mack clearly out in front right now as he is rolling around the inside. The best place to be inside because everybody's got to go around the outside the longer way around to get past you.
He's into his second lap right now. Andy Mack, the rest of them will follow suit in short order right there. Still Trent Woodworth holding up second place, but I think he's lost a little ground to Andy Mack.
He has, and if you see on the lower screen, ladies and gentlemen, you can see Carl Robinson is now beginning to make hay and get caught up to Trent Woodworth there in Feisty. The 2 yellow airplanes now battling for second place on your bottom screen, and on your top you can see Carl there as he is, I think it's beginning to play out like Andy Mack told us it would. In the straightaways, I see that he has a fair amount of speed. He seems to be fairly matched with the other competitors when they're in the turn, but straightaway and for straight and level, he seems to be fairly fast. But right now, it looks like as we are completing lap number 2, Andy Mack, boy, he's got it on rails, and he's out front.
Had a good fast start and taking full advantage of that right here. And Trent Woodworth both fast off the line.
And you can see now on the bottom screen at positions 1, 2, and 3, Trent Woodworth's got it back under control and kind of got that speed regained after he had that little bobble. And he's able to kind of mitigate some of that gain that Carl Robinson was making there. Carl Robinson now drifting back, and it looks like Feisty might be just a couple knots faster than Andy Mack because he is now pulling away from Carl Robinson, and it appears to maybe slowly be catching. But do we have enough laps left, Tommy, for him to get caught up and then get around? The hard part is getting around.
We only have 8 laps. We're already on lap number 3 right now. And pretty soon, Andy Mack will begin lap number 4, but so far, so good for Andy Mack. He's already won once, so he knows how to win this week. Roswell, New Mexico. This is a big one, though. If you can win this one, you can medal.
And there you can see up top our battle for second has spread out just a little bit. You've got Feisty on the right of your screen and Carl Robinson and Heatstroke on the left with the orange tail as they make their way now around on the 4th lap through the northern portion of our course. The bottom of the screen there you can see 1, 2, and 3 kind of spread out, and the far left of the bottom screen, that is Mark McIntyre in Tantrum, our rookie that our leader is just about to catch right here. To see our leaders going around him on the outside, and quick pass, a lot of speed difference there, Tommy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he has stepped out there as Andy Mack's great performance by that plane all week.
Listen in and watch all these aircraft come over our pylon cam. Gotta love that sound. Wow. Well, positions 1 and 2 have passed and lapped Mark McIntyre, and Carl Robinson is just about to do that as well. And here you see positions 1, 2, and 3 coming by the home pylon to start lap number 5. They're a little bit spread out. And there comes McIntyre on the bottom portion of your screen. He's been lapped by the first three. There's a great shot of Feisty right there from our pylon cam. Woo! They're up and rolling. Tommy it just gets my adrenaline going. The sagebrush is flying by these guys. 250 miles an hour, 50 feet above the New Mexico desert. It's shoulder to shoulder. It doesn't get any better than this here at the National Championship Air Races.
Yeah, great show for the crowd on hand. Great show for everyone joining us here in our streaming coverage all week long. It's certainly been a pleasure. We have seen some tremendous performances, some of them dominating, some of them an actual duel to the very end.
Absolutely. Well, it looks like that Trent Woodworth and Feisty's found a couple knots here. I don't know that he has enough laps left. We're going to have to watch that. But look see on the bottom.
That
spacing is getting a little bit closer. Carl Robinson kind of keeping up with him, but he's not catching him like he was there for a little bit.
The clock is ticking, that is for sure. 6th of 8 laps is our leader, Andy Mack, Cheap Thrills. The blue and white plane, and
Now here's a good shot, Tommy, on the bottom especially. You can see Andy Mack is flying a lot lower than some of his competitors. I noticed that Trent Woodworth drops down in the straightaways a little bit lower, but in the corners he flies them a little higher. Andy Mack is staying right down there on that minimum limit and staying tight to those pylons. And I think that shorter distance that he's flying is helping to keep him out in front here.
Could make the final difference in the end, but we are not there yet. They're just wrapping up lap number 6. About to head into the, I guess, the penultimate lap, you call it, the next to last lap.
Look here, Feisty's going to make a go of it here. He is catching him, Tommy. That's closer by this time than it was last time around the home pylon.
Yeah, he's twice as close as he was 3 laps ago, that's for sure.
For sure. So it's real now. We're awarding a medal out of this race. So it's all on the line. They're bending those throttle levers, pushing them forward, doing everything they can to squeeze out another knot or two, because that's going to make the difference. But here we have a battle for the lead here in the silver pairing, Tommy, as Trent Woodworth and Feisty. Race 52 is beginning to catch up to Andy Mack. Race 82, the blue and white cassette on the left side of your top portion of your screen.
Got a lap and a half to go. Maybe a little bit less than that. Time running out.
There is the closeness of that. Carl Robinson in third as they're coming around. Trent Woodworth is definitely making a race of it, but does he have enough time left? This time by for Andy Mack right here by the home pylon. That is the last time by. We are in the white flag and final lap here on our up close and personal 3.19 mile course. Trent Woodworth, if he's got anything for him, now's the time.
He's got to lay it on now. That's right.
Pylon 2 and 3 right here on the north end of the course. Can he do it, Tommy? Let's see as they roll out. He's been faster in the straightaways. Let's see if he can continue to push that airplane. Can he get there? It's half a course left. They are halfway down the back straightaway as they begin to roll left. That's pylons 4, 5, and 6. You see Trent slide up just a little bit, get into some clean air, try to stay smooth. He's going to then drop down. Watch here. He's going to try to shortcut this last corner, stay outside the pylon. Can he gain any speed? We're coming to the flag, Tommy. This is going to be the win. The silver medal right here. Andy Mack. Race 82, ladies and gentlemen, right there, your 2025 60th edition of the National Championship Air Races Formula One silver medal unofficial winner.
Yeah, what a great ending to a great story. One of many out here in Roswell this week, and congratulations, Andy Mack and Cheap Thrills, Race 82.
And finishing the course, you can see still there on the shot. We've got they've got to come around and finish one more time.
To your left
Dominic
there.
Kakalici in the yellow race 72, followed by Mark McIntyre race 10 in red Tantrum, the red cassette. And those aircraft will come by and finish. Let's look at the replay here, Tommy, real quick. Here at the start, Andy Mack quickly jumped out. As he predicted, he was faster than Carl Robinson off that front row, but also fast right behind him. Trent Woodworth from the second row in Feisty was right on his tail right away. But look right there. We get a little bit of turbulence. Did you see that? Feisty rolled over with the almost inverted. Great piloting job, but that slowed him down. And here's how it developed. And he was in second. Carl Robinson then catching up on him. He got everything gathered back up, got his heart started again, and he began to pick him up, put him down, try to catch Andy Mack.
And he was successful at it for a while. Cut that distance, cut that deficit in half at one point there, and was seriously threatening through the last 3 laps of this race.
He absolutely was, and he did make it a race at the end. Our first 3 positions did lap. Mark McIntyre there, you saw that on the camera a second ago. But here we are in the final laps, and you see Trent Woodworth and Feisty beginning to catch Andy Mack. He was doing everything he could, try to stay in clean air. You notice from his experience early in the race, he stayed a little bit higher once he started getting close. But he definitely was making ground, but there just wasn't enough time left. And there was the checkered flag, and that's your unofficial winner, Mr. Andy Mack from Tehachapi, California.
That's race 82 on top, unofficially for the silver medal in Formula One. Trent Woodworth, a good effort, really game, and didn't leave anything on the tables. Race 52 with Feisty. Carl Robinson started out with the pole position, but had dropped back to 3rd place, and that's where he finishes in race 57. Heat stroke, lap traffic, Dominic Cacalici, race 72 in 4th place, and Mark McIntyre from Canada, race 10 in Tantrum, 5th place. Andy Mack has put the finishing touches on that silver medal performance there, unofficially. Unofficially, everything subject to review by the race committee, and each race is reviewed. But what a great story he's had. A lot of success early on in his national championships air race career. Well, we love that. We got a couple of silver medals pretty much tentatively handed out at this point. We got some gold medals to hand out when we come back.